First of all, I would like to say a big thank you to all of you who joined me yesterday for my online Zoom class. I was very thrilled to see the amount of interest, and I would like to do a recap for all of you from everything what we've done yesterday. So our very first subject was connection. To be able to connect to my partner, I have to connect to myself. And I truly believe if I don't have that connection, I will be not only heavier as a dancer, I will lose balance much more often, and I will feel I cannot relate to my partner. So how do I want to find relation and connection myself to the floor? Is if I would do a push-up with my feet away from the floor. So I feel like I want to elongate my thighs, lift myself and make myself taller by aligning the blocks of weight, my hips, my ribs, my shoulders and my head in as straight line as possible. So as I do that feeling of a pull-up, I have a feeling that my head and my core pulls back away from the partner. Because of this, I will have immediately, when I connect to my partner, sensation of a pull. And I truly believe at least 80% of our choreographies, especially at the beginning level, will be on a pull connection. And later on, when we're going to move on to the open choreography, that percentage might change slightly depending how much we are dancing with our partner or how much side-by-side choreography do we have. So I'm going to use right now a door handle. We can use anything that will give us a little connection. So I'm going to always feel that I'm pressing up to create a vertical push. So as I mentioned yesterday, my perfect feeling if I have no partner right now is if I would do one hand on top of the other hand and try to connect myself to the hand. So that's my vertical push. Then from that movement, I can move myself into horizontal push, going back to the vertical push into horizontal pull. So what I want you to feel is that you keep moving without any gap and you continuously go from pull through the vertical push to horizontal push, from horizontal push through the vertical push to horizontal pull. And we can practice this at home with any door handle. Be careful that you don't pull it and it will open up. So try to use something that it's a little bit more steady. So I go vertical push, horizontal push, vertical push, horizontal pull, vertical push, horizontal push, vertical push, horizontal pull. And I need you to practice this few times so you can start feeling that your body is going to move very continuously without losing any connection between those moments. So as I mentioned, it feels like you're washing your hands with the soap, and every little millimeter of your hand is equally important to be washed and be clean, okay? So that's the first important thing. Then we were starting to experiment with that to start feeling that there is more buildup into this in more infinity shape. So what was very important as we dance, I truly believe every movement, it starts from our infinity. That infinity can start happening from our legs and knees, going through the hips, through the ribcage into upper body, or it can happen sometimes only feeling that we're rolling through the foot, through the leg, but maybe we're going a little higher on the toes, so we will create way more activity through the ribcage. So what I want you to do, I would like you to do a little exercise that you put your hands on your ribcage and you're going to move yourself from foot to foot, creating that figure 8 or infinity motion, going diagonally forward, diagonally back, sideways, and then the opposite diagonal. And as we do this, we continuously transfer weight from foot to foot. As you can see, I keep pushing myself until I fully deliver my spine to the new standing foot. What will specify this and make me feel that I'm 100% over my foot is just that my sternum arrived fully on the foot. If you can do this in Latin, in rhythm, in smooth, in ballroom, you will be always balanced. If I will move my foot, I can misjudge my distance and feel like I'm maybe 80-90%, but I'm not fully delivered from foot to foot. So now we're going to do exactly the same thing using the wall, trying to build up that connection with the infinity picture. So I'm going to, again, always start from the vertical push. Right now, I want all of you to stay on your left foot if you're the same position as me. And you're going to feel like you're placing your foot, going for the knee, going for the hip, through the rib cage, through the chest. While I'm already getting my head closer to the window, I'm pulling with my booty, then the rib cage, then the shoulders, then the head. While the head is finishing that picture, I'm going again with my knee, with my thigh, with my rib, with my chest, with my head and booty, it's pulling away. So therefore, my continuation is going to have way more density and feeling that we are actually constantly creating a movie. For me, what's very important, connection in smooth, it's one of the most important subjects. It creates a beautiful relationship between partners. So when you do this, you basically feel that you can always react to the message that your partner gave you, and you can slow her down, speed her up, feel that you want to create more storyline. Without this awareness that we are practicing right now, it's very hard to communicate, which will make us look a little bit more fake, maybe very well rehearsed, but it's not a real deal on the competition floor. Okay, so I would like you to practice this exercise. You can do this with the door. You can practice the same thing with the wall. You can place your foot and then feel that you can create those beautiful picture lines going through using a wall. So we don't need to always touch something. I just need to feel that I'm moving layer after layer after layer after layer. So every single movement, it's very oily. And I truly feel anytime when I will go back, my base will go first. That's the only joint that we have that can easily move us from foot to foot. So this is, for me, the best exercises to learn how to be connected to myself and then connect myself to the partner because of this. So the perfect picture of this would be a vertical line, and then the shapes that they are going up and over, that's the first stage. And then moving this vertical line into infinity picture to change direction from foot to foot. But on the top of the swing, in swing dances like waltz, foxtrot, Viennese waltz, we will always look for that moment of verticality. So therefore, be very cautious that you don't leave the steps with the back-weighted sensation. So I'm going to go step by step, starting with the waterfall, going to the right. Everybody put your weight on the left foot, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3 into waterfall. So go 1, 2, 3. We're going to underturn this waterfall slightly, and then go back into explosion line. 1, 2, stretch on 3. In and out. 1, 1. Going into a beautiful check, and then turn. 5th position break. 1, 2, 3. Canter turn to the left. 1, 3. Into 5th position break. 1, 2, 3. into a small check, and 1, and then stretching 2, 3, and then going exactly the same thing, opposite way. So I'm going to move slightly so you guys can see me better. I'm going to go waterfall to the left. 1, 2, 3, explosion. 1, 2, 3. We go in, out, check, stretch to beautiful turn, and 5th position break. Canter turn. 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, and check. Stretch, ready, right foot free. And now we're going to talk about the routine with the activation of our ribcage. So the force comes always from behind the movement, which means if I go diagonally forward, my diagonal left side is going to make me transfer weight. If I go diagonally left, my diagonal right on the back is going to make me transfer weight, and so on. So I'm going to use whatever is the furthest point away from the direction that I'm moving into as a push to make me transfer weight. So we're going to put our hands in a little L format right underneath our breast, on the top of our ribcage. And I want you to just feel how nicely with your thumbs or with your index finger you can make it feel like it's easy to make you go and transfer weight. Make sure your sternum always is delivered over the new standing foot. So we'll go from that waterfall and we'll go push from the left back. So I go 1, continue push from the left thumb, 2, now from the left index finger. Then I continue push from the left index finger, and the same on the last step of explosion. Then I'm moving with my right thumb to go to the in, and now changing first from the right, going into the left to move me to explosion line. Now I'm going to create a beautiful rotation from my right side to close to the left for the check. Scooping from the left thumb to make me go to the turn. Now, left index finger going into 5th position break. And then from here, we're going that canter turn. I'm using the right side, my right side, my left side, and then go 5th position break, my right side to push me to go. Now, I'm going to go again to the check to the right, which means I'm using my left side to make me transfer weight. And now I'm closing to create more concave feeling for that little bow before I move on. Okay, I will move myself a little further away, and we can do the same thing going to the left. So I'm standing on my right foot to start. My hands are on the body. It's little magic fingers that are going to make us go. And I'm pushing from the right back. 1, 2, from right index finger. Right side is pushing, right side is pushing. Now, left side, my left thumb changing, and now pushing from the right one. Now from here, when we finish that explosion line, we're going to move into the check, which means again, my body is going to create all this beautiful CBA before we have the check. And now, because we want to have a pendulum action right here, I'm scooping from behind to do the turn. Pushing from right to go to the 5th position break. And now pushing from left to do this beautiful canter turn with the pendulum action here. 1, 3, pushing from the left into 5th position break. And now pushing again from the right to go into the check. Now concave, and then create a stretch to come up. Yes? So I hope you guys can feel right now how much more movement you created in your ribcage, in your upper body. I love to say that my body creates movement versus my legs. So I don't want to be a foot dancer. I want to have all this density that shows musicality, connection to the floor, balance, and as well more mature way of movement. Okay? So now we'll do the same exercise, no hands on your ribcage, but I want you to feel like you have this magic power behind you, continuously making your movement stronger. Okay? So I will move back slightly so we can do this again. And we'll go waterfall, going into this explosion line, going in, out, and check. You're turning into 5th position break. And now scoop and 5th position break and check and stretch, and we can do the same thing on the other side. Go and waterfall, and we go back, push, and in, out, and check, stretch, turn, 1, 5th position break, 1, 3, 1, 5th position break, and 1, and stretch. I hope you can see how the body gives so much more maturity of the movement. Our last part of this class was shaping. So you could see, just because we were working on infinity, my shapes, they were already so much more stronger. So what I don't want to see is that we are trying to look for a line that you've seen it on a YouTube, or you've seen it from your coach or your teacher. I want you to feel that creating shapes, it's a motion, it's a movie. It's not something static. Of course, in tango and foxtrot, sometimes we can hit the strike line, but then again, we want to create movement out of this. So, I truly believe every shape has 3 stages. The first stage, it's concave. What does it mean, concave, for me? Concave doesn't mean that I'm holding myself like this all the time. Although, this is part of the journey that we are going to create. I want you to imagine that you took a hula hoop and you're moving yourself to maintain the hula hoop on your body. For those who have seen my Dance Vision video about flexibility, this was one of the exercises that we can do on a chair, in a car, in the office. Right now, a lot of us, we have a little bit more time at home. It's very easy. You practice this 5-10 minutes a day and your flexibility will get much better. When we do those motions, imagining that hula hoop, I have to continuously offer my body to the hoop so the hula hoop doesn't fall down, right? So that's what happens when we dance with the partners. Whenever there is a connection that he or she is going to touch us, I have to create available body so my partner can guide me through the figure. And that's the very most important concave. So if I do that circle, my concave changes location. As I go here, my concave right now, it's on my right diagonal. When I go back, my concave, it's on the front. When I go to my diagonal right, my concave, it's on diagonal left front. And so on. So I keep moving, having that concave in many different places in my body. So that's the C. And now the second letter, it's a letter V. V stands for vertical. So when we dance vertical, we already talked about this during our connection. I want to feel, again, I'm lifting myself, I increase the foot pressure, my head and core, it's always mine, and they feel they dance back, where my limbs, my sternum is dancing towards the partner. So that's the vertical. Anytime when you shape, you gotta go from that concave into vertical before we start thinking about the shape. That last letter is the S. S stands for shape. But when I do that shape, I don't think about the picture line again. I want to put in my motion the infinity picture line that we have to do. So what's very important right now, as I shape, I will go through those 3 stages: concave, vertical, and now I'm going to change my shaping and on the end use that infinity push. When we do this, it's very, very important that I will keep pushing until my sternum made it to the new standing foot. When I change the stages, I hope you guys can see it. I don't really change my upper body. I truly believe both sides of my ribcage are equally long as I dance this. So even though I will feel that there is a little bit of crunching, I'm not collapsing my lower side. I'm a believer my lower side, it's always parallel to the floor. Although sometimes we can increase the shape, that increase of a shape will happen through our hips, not through breaking the sides. So if I go right now to that concave, I'm going to go and feel concave, and as I get here, we have that famous letter C, and that lower side most of the time will stay connected to the partner. Now, through the increased foot pressure, I'm going to start thinking about elevating my left hip slightly higher. Of course, this happens from the standing leg. So that's when I go to the vertical. Now we continuously pull that left hip until we can start seeing the shape. But anytime when I'm here, you should see that I'm still balanced. When I'm reaching about missing the last 15 degrees to be parallel to the floor, I'm going to reactivate that infinity movement to take me out from this. So I hope you can see that creation of the shape. It's a humongous arc. It's almost like a rainbow that you go from opposite shape, hitting the top of that rainbow, then moving down and then scooping it up to get you going. Now, when we come out from the picture, I want you to make sure that you're not lifting the arm that is connected to the partner. If you're dancing solo, we can experiment with different shapes, but whenever you connect it, it's very important that this arm, it's not being lifted. So when I will do this, I'm going to work through my upper body, but I hope you can see it. If I would open my frame, I will be in a boy challenge line or promenade position. So on the end of that movement, I have to reconnect my shoulder to arrive to the new standing foot. And in this case, it's same foot, same shoulder. So let's repeat again the same explosion line from the left foot going into the right. So we go through concave, change your booty, to vertical here, but my hips are tilted. Continuously go up and over, now infinity, and then come back here. I love to delay my head, which will create that illusion that my head is being pulled back. Please make sure you pay attention that my head, when I do this, does not break. I just allow the head to feel like it's going through a limbo instead of feeling that I'm breaking my neck. So again, it's an illusion. We see something, but it's not truly happening. So let's try one more time. The same thing on the other foot. Start on the right leg, and we're going to go concave, vertical, shape, change your booty, up and over until your shoulder arrives over the new foot. And again, concave, vertical, up and over until you arrive over your new standing foot. So you can see that those shapes, it's a journey. There is nothing jerky about it. We don't just go for a final product. We want to go through those 3 steps of being concave, vertical, and shape. In our little routine that we practice, we had this little beautiful check. It was very important that I would go concave here too. I want you to imagine that someone is punching you in your belly, but you are fighting this. So you have that sensation of being, you want to go in, but something is resisting. So that's your concave. Then I'm going to go through vertical, and then you can create a shape to come out from this. So anytime, any line, there is always that creation of 3 stages. CVS, like a famous pharmacy in America that you see pretty much on every corner. That's exactly our process of shaping. I hope, guys, you took something back from my class. Again, I'm so grateful for everybody who signed up for this class, and I cannot wait to see you next week on the following class. Stay healthy and lots of kisses and hugs from Poland. Thank you.